Battle Supremacy stands out in the eShop for a few reasons. It isn't a roguelike, it doesn't use pixel art, and there are tanks, lots and lots of tanks. Thanks for joining us here at SwitchUp. Remember, each month Glen and I are giving away a free Switch game to the person who's most active and interesting down in the comments. If you aren't an interesting person, do try your best. Maybe share some tank facts or other historical knowledge. Right, for those still awake, Battle Supremacy, is it supreme or should it hit the scrap heap? Let's find out. The tank handles, unsurprisingly, like a tank. Don't expect an arcade experience here. Pushing forward on the left stick will guide it, and reversing is counterintuitive to how a car would handle, due to the tracks you're on. The turret can be independently controlled with the right stick, and holding LZ will aim down the scope. A squeeze of the trigger will fire a round, and a timer will then show in the middle indicating you're reloading. Almost every facet of your tank can be upgraded, from camo, fire rate, armor, range, and equipping special ammunition such as incendiary rounds which continue to burn for a few moments after you shoot an enemy. Sometimes the experience feels a little sluggish in single player due to a more simulation approach as mentioned. This makes more sense in multiplayer where tactical decisions and working the terrain become more important. It makes for a tedious campaign experience at times though. Missions are available over various theatres of war which vary in aesthetic. You won't just be driving a tank, there are some where you begin on sea, as well as pursuing escaping officers in a jeep. One mission may see you recapturing an enemy town or attacking a beach. What was nice was the way they seem to unfold and sometimes unravel. These are scripted events which take place, but it does feel tense. When you just about took the town alive, only to hear the rumbling of tanks over the horizon coming to reclaim their territory. It was in these moments I felt most immersed, although to get through an entire mission without losing a life and thus lowering your rank requires serious skill and planning. Death returns you to the last checkpoint you were at, however your mission rewards will be suitably lowered. Upon completion, you're given a star rating and several statistical scores. The campaign is so-so, and had the game just involved that, while it was a fun distraction, I would have probably allowed this one to pass me by. And so, we head online. With a single click, and you're in a match.
They are on fire. Taking damage. Reloading. Awesome shot.
No faffing about in silly lobbies, listening to little kids scream in your ear, or watching some fool punch you in the face over and over again. Here's looking at you, PUBG. No, none of that noise. One click and you're in an online match. This could be a team deathmatch or a much larger conquest mode where you capture and hold points. Guess what surprised me most? Firstly, it runs so well online. I experienced zero lag and no dropouts. Not a single one. You can bring up an overhead map, and enemies that have been spotted will appear as red markers. Hidden ones, or those behind cover, will remain invisible. Strangely, they can still be seen when scouting from above, but you're very vulnerable when you're in this mode and you can't move. One of the best aspects of online play is that you can take your tank that you've leveled up throughout the campaign online. You'll be totally used to it, the way it handles, that slight delay before you fire, and the wide turning circle, but boy does it pack a punch. The tension online is great, and there is a feeling that you can really make a difference in each round. Find a high vantage point and use your upgraded cannon's range to annihilate from afar.
We are reloading.
Rush the flanks and come up behind a pinned group of tanks, and their rear armor will melt like butter. So my summary of gameplay would be this. Offline, it's an okay experience that offers a ton of missions to hone your skills ready for that online play. The game offers an excellent online experience that, while not the most complex, is purely a skill-based affair that will reward a tactical mind. Gameplay scores 15 out of 20, and those controls score 15 out of 20 as well. Gyro aiming would have raised this up a touch. Visuals range from oops, somebody just fired up the PS2, to look, it's Battlefield 3's ugly little brother. They can look surprisingly okay. Performance is king here and the game runs buttery smooth for the most part. This means the whole experience feels worlds apart from the lagfest of games like Paranautical Activity on Switch. The gun sights are nice and the little touches like smoke and grass at least create a sense of place. Let's face it, if you take this one back to mum and dad, they're going to smile politely and give each other a quizzical look. She's not a stunner but seems friendly enough. The main takeaway was how smooth the experience online ran. In handheld mode, sat in my favourite chair and engaging in a massive scale 5v5 tank battle certainly gave me the feels. However, invincible cows and an overall low texture experience detract from an otherwise fun game, and graphics score 12 out of 20. Music is suitably grandiose. From the opening menu, things look very positive. Once in game, however, it soon becomes apparent that musically speaking, the game is quite literally a one-trick pony. In my whole time, I think the same song looped during the campaign. Either that or it was so alike as to go unnoticed when a change occurred.
Awesome shot.
There's nothing overly wrong with it, but this is a case of less is less. I want more. Sound effects are okay, there aren't a huge variety, explosions and gunfire are on point. Your crew will shout out some status updates such as being on fire or being spotted by the enemy. Like visuals, sound is just okay, but thankfully is saved by its meaty weapon and explosion delivery.
Good shot.
No voice chat online is a shame for the online play. This would have been a welcome addition. Sound scores 13 out of 20. The game retails at £7.69 or $9.99. I didn't realise it was this cheap, and for that price this is a bargain. It offers a solid competitive multiplayer that feels tense and rewarding. The campaign is quite vast and covers several theatres of war, but the real value for me is that online mode. Jump on a comfy chair, feet up, headphones on, and 3 hours of online carnage will melt away, leaving you with a sparkly new set of tanks unlocked and a hugely upgraded vehicle to take online and destroy your foes. Value scores 18 out of 20. I won't lie, I expected this to be a total and utter disaster. I was pleasantly surprised by the depth of the experience offered. Average visuals and sound aside, gameplay and controls are excellent, and the value offered is evident. It scores a final SwitchUp score of 73%. Be sure to leave a comment down below, stay active on the channel for a chance to win a free game, and for all things Switch, all the time, 100% plagiarism free, keep it Switch up. See ya!